Welcome to episode 19 of the Motorcar Marketing Podcast. I'm Ashley Myers with MotorcarMarketing.com. In this episode's main segment, I'm going to be talking with Jody DeVere. Jody is an expert at selling and marketing to women. I know a lot of the dealerships I work with can improve in this area, so if you want to sell more to women, you're not going to want to miss today's episode. If you find this episode valuable, please help us out by giving us a review in iTunes or leaving a comment on YouTube or retweeting the podcast on Twitter or liking it on Facebook. These social media shares really do help spread the word about the podcast, so it's very much appreciated. If you have any questions or comments about anything, feel free to send us an email at info@motorcarmarketing.com. I want to improve this podcast, so some honest, constructive feedback is always appreciated. Couple of quick notes. Any websites or links that I mentioned in the podcast can be found on the website in the show notes. I also publish a transcript with every episode in case you'd rather read the show or look at something later on. You can find all the episode show notes at www.motorcarmarketing.com/podcasts and look for episode 19. We recently put together a great free guide for car dealers called the Quick Start Auto Dealer Marketing Guide. You can get it by going to motorcarmarketing.com/guide. It's completely free. You just put in your email address and the lessons will be emailed to you over the course of the next few days. We've tried to concentrate on the high leverage things you can do with each marketing channel so you can get the maximum results in the shortest amount of time. We'll be adding more lessons to this guide in the future, but to start out, we'll show you how to increase your ROI and sell more cars on Craigslist, how to quickly set up a Google pay-per-click campaign, how to begin generating leads from local search engine optimization, and how to effectively use email marketing to generate leads and correspond with your past customers. Again, this guide is completely free. Just go to motorcarmarketing.com/guide. So now let's get into the main segment. Today I'm talking with Jody DeVere from AskPatty.com. She gives out some great advice on how to sell and market to women. Here is the interview. Welcome, Jody, to the Motorcar Marketing Podcast. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
Well, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure, and I look forward to it.
Perfect. So to start out, I wonder if you can give us a quick overview of your career and kind of how you got into helping car dealers sell cars to women.
That's a great question, Ashley. I started in the automotive industry around the year 2000. And it was as a result of selling another business that I had. I actually have a technology background, and I sort of came to the automotive industry through the back door of consulting, as many of us do. And when I launched my consulting company in 2000, I just began collecting automotive clients and really fell in love with the industry. As a technology expert, I felt there was a great need at that time for dealerships and even automakers to learn more about all the technology that was available in terms of CRMs and lead management, and that's when that industry was really beginning to get legs in automotive.
Let's talk a bit about marketing to women specifically. I found you through an article you wrote about marketing to women on their mobile devices. I wonder if you can just talk a bit about how to market cars to women in general, and then maybe we'll kind of dig into some of the specific channels that, women, it might be good to market to women on.
Yeah, I've had Ask Patty now, which focuses around the women and marketing to them, not only cars, but also service, collision, and all the things that women do, including blinging their cars up with aftermarket accessories. And there's been a lot of changes in the last 10 years in terms of the industry really recognizing women as being the primary influencer in these decisions. And so what I can say in general about marketing and selling to women is that it's a very complex market, and that you definitely need to study more about all the different demographics of women, and for dealerships specifically, that reside in your local market, because one size fits all doesn't really work with women.
Okay. So what does that actually mean? You're talking about, maybe like young women out of college versus women who are mothers versus women whose kids have gone away, trying to break it down into those different sections and then go after, each one of those sections with a different campaign?
Yeah. And really for the dealership, understanding what is the demographic mix of women in their market in terms of age, lifestyle, purchasing power, And also, more to the point, women are diverse also. Women of color and Latino or Hispanic women play a large part in many markets, especially metropolitan areas, the Asian woman. And I think that much of automotive advertising in general is tried to, really address certain, like, they're still advertising to the soccer mom, like that's old news, right?
Yeah.
And referring to her that way. And so what I bring to the table for my clients is this really very refined approach to the women in their market. And of course, my website, which is Automotive Advice for Women, really addresses that in the different article content and in the beautiful display of expert women that are all age groups and very multinational also in their demographics. And I think the strong message that I would send is that it's complicated and you need to have expertise in that area to really win with women.
Mm-hmm. And I wonder if you could just give us one or two examples, like using your example, if you wanted to market to, Latino women in a metropolitan area, what would be kind of just your approach?
Well, I think one of the things that I would strongly recommend off the top is I'm on the board of the Marketing to Women Conference, which is held every year in Chicago in the spring. Usually it's in late April or early May. That website is m2w.biz, and here are the finest minds in marketing to women. And by the way, very few automotive major brands are represented, which is a shame. Or they send their women, the women in the organization. It's a women's event. This is an event where every major brand is represented. That really speaks to women in the fashion industry, in the food. All these products and electronics that women are purchasing, and do case studies. And they always do case studies around this Hispanic and Latino woman because she's a rising power, especially the younger women. And one point I can tell you is that this group of women, let's say they're from 23 to 37, this powerful Latino woman who's educated in your market no longer uses a home phone at all. In fact, she does more shopping online via her mobile devices than any other demographic in the country. So knowing that, it would be important for the dealership to, if they have a strong population of Latino or Hispanic women, to market through their mobile devices.
Mm-hmm. And if you break that down, okay, so we're marketing to these women on a mobile device. Are there some specific channels that you recommend? I mean, I know like Facebook ads is real good about allowing you to choose what demographics you go after, and Google pay-per-click, you can choose some of that stuff too. Is there any ways that you know of that can kind of get your ads to those specific demographics?
Oh yes, I think there's Latino radio stations, cable TV. Okay. I think that in your print or pictures are worth 1,000 words. I'll tell you a quick story. I was working with a large client of mine that has about 100 locations in Southern California, which has, again, a very high Latino population in that demographic. And they were showing me their advertising program that they were launching, and it showed a picture of a Latino family, a man, a woman, and 2 children. And the positioning of them was that she was standing with his arm around her, smaller, shorter, and the 2 children in front. And when I looked at that picture, it really bothered me because basically what they were saying is he's going to take care of her, when that's not how that woman thinks at all. She's taking the lead, and so I recommended that they place her equal in the photograph and put the children on the other side, one on each side, and make her the same, actually standing slightly ahead of the man. And it changed the whole picture of who she is to the advertiser. And they had great success with that ad campaign, by the way.
Yeah. That's a great tip. And I'm curious. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on TV ads. One of the things I notice with the TV ads, they feel very generic. They don't feel like they're specifically geared towards any demographic, frankly. And I wonder if you have some tips on that, on TV ads, similar to what you just gave us with the photo. There's probably some things that people could be doing with their TV ads.
Well, depending on their budget, I know this is sort of a budgetary thing. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they don't have a budget to do multiple ads for different markets or segments. But I'll talk about placement. So if they understand the placement of where it's usually cable TV, what stations and what times of day they're selecting, I think what they need to do, and by the way, the person selling them those spots can provide all that demographic data to them. Mm-hmm. They're experts at collecting that data of who is watching TV during those hours, and this programming is to match the advertising to the placement, and this is really overlooked. And sometimes it's budgetary, and sometimes it's just lack of skill on the personnel that is making those decisions. Mm-hmm. The machine gun approach in advertising, those days are gone, and certainly with even in online or digital advertising, there's all types of schemas going on with, targeted advertising based on, Facebook does it. You get those ads. They produce ads based on your preferences, your friends, and what you're talking about on your Facebook page. And so they need to take their cues from this type of more refined approach to really position their television advertising to the right audience. And I dare say, and this is not an accusation, this is more of an observation, is that when you get a bunch of guys together that are creating marketing and advertising, you're going to get ads and placement that are more comfortable for them or what they're knowledgeable about. And this is why having expertise in the women's market is so valuable in those marketing departments and as they're making those decisions. And this goes for digital advertising as well. And the type of things that they are, I want to say things because sometimes on their Facebook page you'll go to a dealer Facebook page and all you see is pictures of cars and prices. Like as a woman, Facebook is a social network. That doesn't, they're not going to want to see that. And if they have subscribed to your Facebook page and want to see it, they're just going to turn you off. I want to, I don't want to see that. Mm-hmm. That's not social. And so I think in television and on TV, you really can make an impact if you spend time with the TV station, the cable TV station, understanding where women or Hispanic women are watching TV and what hours of the day and the age group, and then create appropriate television commercials that are going to appeal to her.
Yeah, for sure. Let me just touch on that, what you just mentioned with the Facebook page. You said just listing a bunch of cars and prices is not that appealing. What would you say is appealing to women? What should dealers be posting on their Facebook page?
Well, I think it should be a mix of, first of all, I think education is very important to women. And also I would add that they're more than selling cars. They're also part of the community. Many dealerships are highly involved in reaching out in the community, and I think these are things they should talk about on their Facebook page, what they're doing. I think if they should also provide tips and education about car buying, and also let's not forget the service department about taking care of their vehicles. This is one area I can tell you that women need more education. They seem to be, and we take questions 24/7 from women, thousands of them, and I can tell you based on our statistics that 81% of the questions for automotive advice from our experts are repair and maintenance related. And this seems to be an area where women need the most help, and so they can put some education in there about how to maintain or take care of their car, what is their warranty all about, what kind of oil change interval, blah, blah. No one reads the manual. Come on. Mm-hmm. Did you read your car manual cover to cover? Not.
Yeah, no, certainly not.
Not. Things like that. And also, I think ask questions versus just being promotive, do surveys, ask them what they think. I do like to see the reviews posted in Facebook. I think women definitely take their cues from reviews from other car buyers as to what type of experience and also what type of experience they've had in the service lane. And so I think a healthy mix of promotion. It's okay to have cars in there, but you need to mix it up with other types of things that are going to influence. And really what I'm suggesting overall is that you need to tell the story about who your dealership really is, and you're not just all about the make and model. Post pictures of the people that work there. I love it when I see anniversaries. I just saw a beautiful Facebook post. It was the 50th wedding anniversary of the owners, and they had a beautiful picture of them. And boy, I'll tell you, there was a lot of comments on that. Because these are things, relationship-oriented, that's what Facebook is for, really. And unfortunately, I think dealers just see it many times as a way to promote their cars for sale.
Yeah. So, no, that's some great tips. So let's move into the actual selling process and how to sell to women. Again, maybe we can start off with sort of some more broad tips, just the differences between selling to women and versus men, and how salesmen can go about selling more to women.
Since we don't have 3.5 hours, which is the course that I teach, I'm going to give you the most important. The most important tip that I can give any car salesman, and that is you need to learn to listen. Sellers like to sell, which means they talk a lot. And actually having a repertoire of questions, open-ended questions, to keep her talking and to never interrupt her, even if she spends 20 minutes telling you the entire history of every vehicle she's ever bought in her lifetime before she gets to the point where she wants to look at cars. This is the most important skill, and I'll tell you why. Because when you listen to women, and by the way, for all the guys listening out there, if you use this tip in your personal life, your relationships with women will also improve overall, is that when you listen to us, we feel respected, valued, and cared about. And so this is the type of relationship building block that you cannot overstep. You cannot rush her. You cannot cut her back. Try not to be too over leading and leading her to, down your 12 steps to the sale or 10 steps to the sale. I've actually listened to all of that training, and I can tell you that you can really get off track, and she will smile and nod and then leave and never come back, because she will be thinking, he didn't listen to a word I was saying. He does not care about me or what kind of car I want to buy.
Yeah. I wonder if we could back up and talk about, you said learn to have a repertoire of open-ended questions. Can you give us 2 or 3 of these real good open-ended questions that a salesman can ask a woman?
Yes. Tell me about what you do with your car. Are you a camper? Do you have children? Ask questions that are going to be more lifestyle-oriented to kind of find out what she does with her car. Is she a working woman? How many miles does she drive a year? What does she use the car for? What are her hobbies? Things like that will get her talking and open up and help the salesman really guide her to the right vehicle. Because sometimes even women, we come in with a specific idea in mind, but it turns out really that there's a better car in the lot that will fit my lifestyle need. And I want to underline that word, lifestyle needs. What is going to make me feel good? For a lot of us, men too, cars are like an accessory of life. It represents who I am in my life. And so you want to understand who she is in her life so that you help her make the best decision for her lifestyle and her budget. Yeah. Let's talk about AskPatty.com for a minute. Can you give us kind of the 2-minute elevator pitch on what you do there? Really, it's twofold. One, we're the premier automotive advice site for women, and I believe we reach about 30 million brand impressions a quarter through our syndicated content. And so we're a very respected brand with women in terms of coming to us to find out more about car buying, maintenance, repair, and all of the topics related to their automotive purchase needs. We also have our primary product aimed at the automotive retailer to help them communicate more effectively with women, to market and advertiser. It is our certified female-friendly program. And to learn more about it, you can go to AskPatty.com/get certified.
Okay. And what's the gist of that? Is that someone, an end user can come to Ask Patty and find a certified female-friendly service or dealer in their area, and then the dealer has to somehow go through some sort of vetting process to become certified?
That's correct. Actually, it's training and ongoing training. We provide a very robust 3.5-hour certified female-friendly course. It is 18 modules, focusing around effective communication skills, selling to women and couples, and also problem solving when things go wrong, as they often do, how to resolve that and make it a win-win. It talks about some overview issues that revolve around the purchasing power of women and where women are headed. And this is updated quite frequently. And what I was talking about 9 years ago, of course, women are ever changing. And also some tips on marketing to women and social media and how important that is in your strategy with her. Once that's completed, we also provide ongoing training every month. It's really hard to cover the entire women's market in 3.5 hours, so we produce webinars, and we also provide account management in helping each of our clients reach the women in their local market through effective marketing and advertising and social media.
Great. So I'll definitely link to that in the show notes. What's the best way for people to keep up with you and potentially contact you if they want to learn more about what you're doing?
Well, we have a very popular Twitter account. Ask Patty is at Ask Patty. They can link to me on LinkedIn, which is a little bit more professional in some of the things that I'm talking about. You can find me on LinkedIn, Pinterest, Facebook, and many other social media, Tumblr, and so forth. You know, we're very active there, and I would really highly recommend that you link to our blog, and which is our car advice blog. You can find a link to that on AskPatty.com. Those are some of the ways you can keep in touch. I love Twitter. That's one of my favorite social networks. I learn so much on Twitter by observing the behavior of women and also listening to their chatter and what's popular.
Yeah. I'll definitely link to all that in the show notes. So if anybody wants to find that later, they can go there and I'll put direct links to it. Well, Jody, you've been very, very generous with your time. This has been some great information. I really appreciate you coming on and sharing it with us.
Oh, Ashley, it's been my pleasure. It's my favorite topic. I'm extremely passionate about helping dealerships win with women. And I hope that they take advantage of our program and become part of our network.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye now.
If you're currently looking for a high-quality auto dealer website, check out our sister site, motorcarsites.com. We offer high-quality auto dealer websites at a very affordable price. Dealers can typically save between $50 and $150 per month by using our service. You can upload as many cars as you'd like at no additional cost. We automatically can export your cars to all the major platforms like Cars.com and Autotrader.com, so you don't have to manage your inventory in multiple locations. We can have your new website up and running usually in less than 24 hours. Setup is free and easy. There are no long-term contracts, so you can cancel at any time. Again, check out motorcarsites.com to learn more. On the next episode of the Motorcar Marketing Podcast, I'm going to be talking with Mike Williams from Black Book. Black Book collects data on the automotive industry and uses that data to power a variety of applications. He's got some really interesting things to say on the used automotive market and offers some great tips for how dealers can potentially make more profit from their used car sales. So keep an eye out for that next week. So anyways, that's our show. I hope you got some value out of it and it can help you grow your business. Thanks for listening.